So it looks like there's a bit of a new rumor that's come out, and I find this to be, pretty interesting as well as a bit smart if this turns out to be true. So first of all, I'll say make sure that you guys kind of take things with a grain of salt until they're officially announced, because until that point, we all have to kind of just take precautions and make sure that we are very much in a situation where we're careful not to, believe every little thing. But this does make sense if Microsoft is going to kind of go this route. You know what I mean? So I honestly feel like it's one of those things where Microsoft has a situation where they're damned if they do, damned if they don't. But at the same time, you have to be somewhat of a risk taker to get out there and make sure that, that things are kind of making people happy, and that gamers are satisfied with what you're offering. So, anyway, like that's the hope anyway. I do really hope that Microsoft can continue to do this, and that Microsoft can continue to do things that make people happy. But I want to get into it because it should be a fun video, and I'm curious to hear everybody on what they think and their take and things like that. So let's go ahead and get started. What's up, everybody? Crap Gamer here with Crap Gamer Reviews, back with another video. Of course, please take time out to like the video, share it out, all that kind of good stuff. It does mean a lot to me. You guys are amazing. Please subscribe if you haven't already done so. I do daily gaming content, if you didn't know. I try to be fun, I try to be informative, entertaining, all that kind of stuff. Sometimes whatever it's not, but I do try to make the best of it, and hopefully that's something that realistically people are kind of looking at and kind of moving into the right direction. So if you look at Microsoft, and the best that they've ever been, the best that they've done, was with the Xbox 360. And there's lots of reasons why. I mean, we can get into it and spitball and say, hey, okay, it's this, it's this, it's this. It's actually a combination of things, but I think one of the main things that they did was they launched it before PlayStation, and, they also launched at a cheaper price point than PlayStation. So I think with this rumor that they're launching early, which the rumor is that they're gearing up for a 2026 launch, right? And also, judging by FTC leaks and things like that, it's kind of said that, Sony wouldn't be doing a launch to the PS6 until 2027 or 2028. Now, if Microsoft comes out with their next gen in 2026, that gives them a year to 2 year advantage and jump on the PlayStation 6. Now, here's where they have to be careful and where there could be problems. You have to make sure that you have, great exclusive content, and it just has to be there, right? You have to show people why you have, why they have to get your platform. Why do they have to get it, right? So here's the thing, and here's the interesting thing. For sure, like if you look at how things are going right now, this generation has been weird on both PlayStation and Xbox. So PlayStation 5 has fallen behind PlayStation 4 in sales in some areas, and Xbox is way behind in sales, even from last gen. And to me, it's such a failure that the Xbox One was looked at with such hate, and yet, it ended up doing almost 60 million despite all the hate and all that kind of stuff. They were really kind of turning things around at a certain point, and now I feel like, a lot of that stuff has fallen by the wayside. And so the reason why it's so different is you still have half the players on PlayStation 4, so they're not upgrading as quickly as previous generations. So with that being said, they will probably, no doubt, for years have games that release still on Xbox Series X and S when they come out with the new ones for, the next generation stuff. I doubt that they're going to just drop those, because there's going to be, by that time, there should probably be 30 to 40 million X and S users, and so they're not going to just abandon all those people and go, okay, well, here's our new platform or whatever, just go ahead and buy our new stuff or whatever. So, I mean, they have that working against it. Also, what will be working against them next generation is they're not going to have the Xbox One to fall back on like right now. I'm not shocked to hear that there's more people on Xbox One than Xbox Series X and S, because a lot of gamers play, the same redundant things over and over again. The Call of Duties, the Maddens, the FIFAs, Fortnite, Minecraft. They play all that stuff that realistically is one of those things that it makes sense in a way, but it also obviously is a situation where maybe it doesn't make the most sense to get people to move and upgrade, and maybe they don't care as much about upgrading. You know what I mean? As long as people are playing the games and stuff, maybe they're good, and I feel like that's a situation where that could work out for them. So if they are releasing, there's also rumors that we might be getting a Gears of War game with the release of the platform, which could work. The new game looks like it's going to be kind of tapping into that old school Gears of War feel. That would be smart, but that would be something that shows that Microsoft is competitive again, right? Like, we need to see that competitiveness. We need to see, Microsoft go out there and go, okay, here's our best shot, Sony. Listen, they probably won't beat Sony in most areas, but who's to say in North America they can't, beat Sony again like they did with the 360, or the UK beat Sony like they did with the 360. I could definitely see that be something that happens. And, again, if that happens, really anything can happen at that point, because we're living in a world where, where Microsoft has, all these resources, all this money to do kind of whatever they want. And, Sony doesn't really have that. Sony, I know a lot of, like, Sony keeps winning and things like that, but they don't have the resources that Microsoft has. So if Microsoft dip back into the well like they did previously, I think that could be, something that helps them tremendously. We'll just have to see if that's something that they can keep up with. And I feel like that's where a lot of the questions come in with, right? Are they going to be able to keep up with demand? Are they going to have the games that people are going to be like, oh man, there's definitely, that's something that we definitely need to see? Or, that to me is a little bit of the reason why, Microsoft has to do something crazy. And look, I get it, man. I don't look at this as like launching a year too early as like super crazy, but you have to have a clear-cut plan. Like, this generation could have been nice for Microsoft, right? But the problem is that honestly they didn't have the games to back up what they were trying to do. So, again, honestly, that's what they have to fix. They have to fix these things. They have to make sure that, gamers are, first and foremost, you have to have the exclusive games. You have to have, people excited about the future of the platform. You have to have people ready to kind of, go all out for, what's coming. And I hope that that's what we can get, and I hope that's what they do before too long, because that's what Microsoft needs to do. They need to get that jump on Sony. They need to have great games. They don't necessarily have to go, just kidding, when it comes to like, oh, are we going to be able to, are we going to be able to put exclusives on PS5 or PS6? You have to have a situation where you are thinking a little bit outside the box, because look, that's what Nintendo does, right? Now, you can't go copy what Nintendo does necessarily. I mean, there are rumors that Microsoft is looking to launch a handheld, but again, you have to have something there, some kind of hook, something that's really kind of drawing people in. And until they have that, I think we're going to be in a situation where Microsoft is kind of looking at things through a little bit of a different kind of way, and hopefully this is something that Microsoft can continue to kind of push and help people to realize, hey, you know what, we are a real competitor here, and we can continue to compete if we do our best and we put our best foot forward. So yeah, if they can come out with a powerful console, but also a handheld, best of both worlds. Also you can make sure that you have plenty of great content and great games, because I think listen, Game Pass is cool and all, but it's not that be all end all thing that a lot of people kind of look at and go, oh man, this is so great. Trust me, if it was, more people would already be in on Game Pass, and they just aren't. And that's because, there's not a lot of trust there. But anyway, let me know what you guys think. Rack 'em up, fact 'em up, Crap Gamer 'em up. I'll catch you next time. Crap Gamer out.